I'm actually editing right now the weekly analysis, so I'm starting this video on a Sunday for tomorrow. Whilst this is exactly what I've been doing, so I'm on the move, as you already know from the previous video. I had breakfast at a different restaurant. I'm actually gonna go for this one right here. It's early morning, so I'm not gonna go for anything cold right now, so I'm just gonna do a normal cappuccino and that's it. I guess that's it, a sandwich and cappuccino. Then I quickly had to come to this particular airport so that I don't miss my flight. I'm not using my microphone, so I don't even know if you guys can hear me, but I'm actually at another airport right now. I have a 5-hour flight from here to Egypt. My final destination is not Egypt. That's where I have another layover, but it's going to be a long layover, so I'm going to just tour around, see the city and all of those things. Then we're going to move on to the next location. So I'm also doing a little bit of back testing here, just looking at the charts and stuff. I also ordered cappuccino. So let me just finish editing and probably see you guys when I'm flying. All right, it's a lovely Sunday, as you can see, just a little after 10 a.m. and we've had a really beautiful week this week. We had a nice beautiful trade on the Nasdaq where we traded plus 400 pips on just that particular trade, on one trade, and I had multiple trades. I did take a little bit of a risk for this time around because I was not on. So I actually got this trade on a Tuesday as I was flying from Abuja to Lagos. I landed on Sunday and spent a few days in Abuja, just 2 days. And obviously you know how it is when you're traveling, you barely have the time to be on your chart. It was not a really long flight. Alright guys, so we are flying now and I don't know if you guys are going to hear me, but whatever. I don't know what the trades are doing. We're going to land in the next 50. Well, it's like 10 minutes after we started flying, so we'll be landing at around 5. We just got food, so I'm going to try that. That's only what I want, and obviously water to stay hydrated. I'm really not hungry. I ate before I actually came on, and then she bit it. So I'm going to just drink this and water and some snacks, samosas and meat and little snacks. So I don't really feel like eating this, but I'll just try it out. That's about it. Hopefully by the time I land, would have been I'll take and take that if I did. And check out the view though outside. And when I landed, we had already hit our second take profit. Now, this was a very simple trade, simple analysis. Obviously, I could not record all of the setups and explain everything as I was traveling, but we had a gap. Whenever the market opens with a gap, it always has a tendency of coming back down to the gap. The closing of the gap is always a point of interest. You always want to look for an opportunity to trade there. I jumped right into the trade. I gave it as a signal in the inner circle, and we started to write it up from there. So anytime you see a gap, I want you to take the exact same strategy that I just taught you right now with just these few words that I've said. That's it. You see a gap, wait for the market to close the gap, look for confirmation at the gap because that is a point of interest. Execute the trade, stop loss right below the close of the gap, or if you have another swing point right below it, and write the movement up. That was a really lovely trade. As soon as I touched down in Lagos, about 2 hours later, we were already running plus $900, which is 230 pips on each of the trades. So we got to a particular resistance level, and as you can see, the market was playing around until it eventually broke out of it. Now it's a beautiful Wednesday. Guess what I did? I added positions to my running trades. So that was already over 300 pips running on our trades on the Nasdaq. We were up plus $1,480, and that was over $1,200 for the particular week. Now, as soon as I landed in Lagos, I had just a lot of things to do, a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of things to try out, a lot of places to see because, you know, it's a new country for me and, you know, new people, new everything. So it was a vibe. But 2 hours later, after I've added positions, you can see that we're up plus 100 pips on the added positions and plus 400 pips on the initial trade. So that was about it for my Wednesday when it came to trading. I just added positions and held on to the trades. Okay, it's a beautiful Thursday and woo, I am burning. I am so hot. You don't understand. Like, you see my face is sweating, but some good vibes and everything. So I know I haven't really had much of an update, especially in the free channel. I haven't been active at all. So it's slightly after the New York session, and I've just decided to I did see a good, really nice trade on US30 that I shared with the inner circle, and also I was in a Nasdaq trade. This week was really good. It was good in the sense that I decided to take a risk, and the risk paid off. On the trade that we had on the Nasdaq, it's running 420 pips right now, as you can see. I don't think you guys can see that right. Alright, so as you can see right here, these are the US30 trades, but 400 pips on Nasdaq and 100 pips on added positions. We are currently up $2,000. So that's enough profit for me for the week. I'm gonna go ahead and close all of my trades. So I'll explain the trade to you guys when I'm a bit settled. But for now, let me enjoy this country. Just look at this beautiful African sun. Alright guys, yes, I'm out here and this is very beautiful. I'm actually in Lagos, Nigeria. When you go to every country, you should look for the things that you like to do in that country and explore, right? So I've been exploring, and today I'm sweating like, yo, if you're in this country, just be sweating. I'm gonna try out the speedboat right over there, and then this is called Umu Park. They have a lot of rides. Now we are on the roller coaster. Okay, it's starting now, but it's too short though. I don't think it'll be that scary. Yeah, let me hold. We also went to the zoo. We saw, my favorite one was the lion with
Simba. Come on.
Ganala.
How to fly? This one can lift good.
This is Pumbaa. I made Pumbaa, guys.
It does like me talking.
Hi. Actually, past here, you're supposed to wear these boots because it's like it's flooded with a lot of water.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me?
All right, welcome back. So that is about it. That was our week, which was really beautiful for me. It was extremely beautiful because, first of all, I am in a new country, seeing beautiful people, beautiful things, beautiful everything. Yesterday was absolutely my favorite. No, Friday was absolutely my favorite day because I got to do, the things that I actually love to do. So I tried out one of the scariest rides that they had, and obviously you can't record. Like, my head was down facing the bottom and all of those things, but I couldn't record any of that. In terms of trading, we had a really good week, $2,000 up for the week. Our US30 trade was a bit shaky because we just had 1 and 2 take profits for 100 pips before it eventually dropped back down to our stop loss. And also funded next, right? Funded next. Oh my gosh. I don't even have any words for funded next. But anyway, like I said, and I'm gonna stick to my words, it's their prop firm. They would do whatever they want. In my opinion, I am never going to use Funded Next again, no matter what. Even if, let's say, I'm in a whole different country or whatever, I will not use Funded Next. Why? Because first of all, we were barely trying to survive with the rules that they had. It's not about, daily drawdown, maximum drawdown, lot size, risk management. It's those tiny little rules that are hidden. You can't withdraw your profit after you make profit. You can't request a 100% payout, because if you do that, if you didn't know that, if you actually do that on Funded Next, they will fail your account by requesting a 100% payout. You have to leave a certain amount of money in your account before you request a payout. If you request 100% payout, they will fail your account, right? It's called a hard breach. That's ridiculous, right? Also, that consistency rule of 40%. Then this whole VPS that they had with me, I sent them this email. They sent me that I should restart. They gave me 2 options to either literally restart from phase 1 and then do phase 2, and then they will pass the account or whatever, right? I had to restart or to give me a refund. I told them that they should give me a refund. I've been waiting for that refund from Sunday, right? They just keep sending funny email. They asked for banking details when I clearly told them that I used USDT to purchase that account, and then I had to send another email back and forth. Then they said that they have processed the withdrawal, but I have not yet seen that balance in my account, because that account was $549 on Funded Next 400k account. And as you can see, my USDT wallet balance has not yet received not a single $500 withdrawal here, as you can see, from probably the 10th of October. Right, that was Sunday probably, right? You see, I haven't received any USDT that has $500 profit there, right? So I'm waiting for that refund to happen until today, and I'm actually just going to stick to the other prop firms that I'm using. I'll let you guys know. I'll drop a video on that, but for me, Funded Next is just a no at this point. The stress is just too much to deal with these prop firms, and obviously I can't tell them to change their rules, right? I just can walk away from what I cannot deal with, right? So that's it for me on Funded Next. We still have multiple prop firms, and TENTRADE is going to just literally be my number one, and I'm going to explain why, because it's actually working pretty well for me, and I'm going to drop the link in the description below so that you guys can check it out. I'll also make a video on all of these prop firms, not all of them, but the ones that I've used, the ones that I can actually stand on and see they did this, they did that, from my own experience, not from the things that I hear online from other people. But anyway, that's about it. Let's just go on to our charts. Let's get this weekly analysis started with. If you're new, find the channel for the first time, welcome. We trade the Nasdaq over here. If you're returning, welcome back. You know what's up. Don't forget to hit that like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. Right? So straight on to our charts. You can see this is our US30 trade that then came to hit our stop loss, but then it gave us 100 pips right over here. It moved up, gave us 100 pips, and then just tanked down and dropped, right? So that's about US30 that we had. And also, guys, just notice what I was explaining to you guys, that we had a gap here. So this is what we call a gap, where the market closes like with this price on a Friday, and then on Monday it just opens and it's right at the spot, right? This is called a gap. Well, I just like to call it a gap. I think other people have a different name for it. And then you mark it up from where it starts to where it ends, right? It literally starts from here. Okay, the week is right there, and then the other week is there. Then this becomes a point of interest. That is a support level right over there. So the market comes to support, it should show you rejection signs, and then you should try and jump into the trade and go up with it. So your only job is to always wait for the market to come back to this area here, so into this point of interest. So even if it moves up to the top there or whatever, right, I always like to wait for it to then come back to this point of interest, right? When it comes back here, I start looking for opportunities. So right at this level, when I saw this weak rejection right here, I just jumped right into the trade, because this is showing me that buyers are stepping into the market at a good point of interest, which is that gap, which is a support area. Then I jumped right into the trade, right? So for today, I'm not going to even go on a larger time frame, because we don't really have much happening there, right? And today maybe we can do a little approach where I can literally teach how to jump into the trade, right? Because I'm seeing a lot of questions of how do I literally then get into the trade? What do I have to wait for? So let's just take, for example, this US30 trade that we have. What I want to understand all the time is, where is my support? Where is my resistance level, right? And then I always want to mark them up, at least have two support or resistance levels, right? So as you can see right here, I'll take this one first as a resistance, which is right here. And then I want to take the one next to it, which is right here. Avoid using current market price as any point, right? The current market price cannot be a support or a resistance. It's just a random point, a price where the market is, right? You can't really, let's say, draw your trend line and then, oh, my battery is low. You can't draw your trend line and then you're trying to do this, like connect it to the current market price. That doesn't even make any sense, because who said that this is going to be a swing point, right? So whenever you do that, avoid using current market price as any level of, you don't want to even look at it, right? So in this case, how would you do that? You'd literally come to this level here, right? So we have this swing point and this swing point right here. Why a swing point? It went up to this level, dropped. It went up to this level, dropped. It went up We don't know if it's going to drop here. We haven't seen that. But what we can say is we have one touch, two touches. It got to the zone, it broke out. What is that to us? A simple breakout strategy. We have a breakout, we have to wait for a retest. It should retest to a support area, right? How many support areas do we have? We have this one that it just created right now, and then we have the one at the bottom here. So this is going to be the literal setup that I will look at on US34 as soon as we open the market, right? Then we go on to our beautiful trade that we had on the NASDAQ, and the same thing. You can literally see that this is the exact same setup on the gap strategy that I just explained to you. You see the weak rejection that we have right here, and then we just jump in into the market. Now on NASDAQ, you can see that it's a bit different to what US30 is having in terms of we don't have a trend line. Instead, we have a ranging market, right? You can see that NASDAQ is ranging at this level. You have to ask yourself all of these things. You have to be able to differentiate between both markets, the ones that are trending to the upside, the ones that are ranging, the ones that are going downwards, the ones that, you know, just be able to do all of those things right now. If you notice here, the buyers and the sellers kind of still have the exact same momentum, right? You see the sellers dropped the market down, the buyers pushed it right back. So it's more like equilibrium that we are having right at this level. So what you want to always do, right? You always want to wait for the market to show the strength, right? Either for the buyers or for the sellers. If the buyers break out of this market, they would have declared that they are in control. The sellers would have lost. But if the sellers come and break out of this market, we have to wait until the buyers step in again to be able to trade here. Now, taking for example that we break out here, that's a simple breakout, guys. Wait for a retest, jump into the market and follow the movement. That won't be complicated at all on the NASDAQ. And then I think these will be our all-time highs. Just a matter of now riding them up back to the top. Then we go over on to my least favorite chart for the meantime, which is gold. Why? Because it has just been shooting up to the top, and I just don't know when it wants to give me an opportunity to trade. I have been patient with this chart for days, for weeks. I think it's been 3 weeks now. I haven't gotten a trade on gold. Well, a trade to give in the inner circle. I am trading this small account. I'm trying to grow this $1,000 account by myself, but then an actual trade to give in the inner circle, right? Hopefully this week we get something really nice. And right now you can see on gold, nothing that is out of the ordinary. We have a really nice trend line that is following. I would love to see gold coming back to, remember we need two support areas, right? So this is going to be our first support area, and then these highs that it broke out of to be the second support area. Now, as soon as the market drops into these levels, want to look for good price action. Good entry will be here after it wipes out manipulation here and liquidity, right? We come back to this area. You want to ride it right back up to those all-time highs. Now, I don't think anything is complicated. It's going to be a really easy week if you just follow everything that I've said. Be patient, wait for all of the trades. I am going to try and be on the charts as much as I can, even though I highly doubt that. But then the trades do look simple and straightforward, so I'm hoping to get something really nice also for this current week. Now, if you did enjoy the video and you found the breakdown helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. You feel me? With that, it's been Tino, and I'll see you guys in the next lit video. Love you guys.